Hey there, class. I wanted to give some tips and tricks about Turtle graphics and Jupyter notebooks. First, here is the lab for this week, the interactive lab that we will use to just explore the capabilities of Turtle graphics. It's pretty cool. Now, you'll run each of these cells and it will bring up a window that is the graphics window, and that's what we interact with. I wanted to just mention a couple of tips that will help this out. So here I'm going to run this cell. And when I run it, it appears that nothing happens. And actually, the graphics window has been created. It's just behind this browser right now. So we would have to go and click on the window to bring it forward. And then this tells us exactly what we just output. And we in that cell, we had code to create this little triangle. So remember that these are in different windows than your browser. And it might be more convenient if you minimize your browser to something like this. Let me get a little bit smaller. And then, for example, if I run this code, and I'll talk about that in a minute, then your graphics window appears right here in the center, and you can manage both of these, together. You can kind of resize them so that they both fit on the screen, and then run, and you'll see exactly where the output is. Now, here's something about Jupyter Notebooks and Turtle graphics. And I mentioned this at the very top part of the lab here. And that is there's a long-standing and well-documented error that for some reason, Jupyter Notebooks requires you to basically hit run twice in some cases. It'll give you a strange error with no messaging other than a location that seems kind of weird. And it's going to be kind of a mystery on how to clear that. Well, the answer is just run it again. It's something we have to put up with here with Jupyter Notebooks. There is a workaround, or there is I'd say a better solution with Replit, and I'll demo that here in a little bit. But this is what's going on with that weird error issue. In this case, I'll run this, and the first time that I tried to run it, it got an error. It just says a location and then doesn't really give us a real reason. But if you just click run again, well, then it works. So we just have to put up with that. The one additional tip that I want to pass on here is to make sure that you close your graphics window when that cell is done running. And that will set it up perfectly for the next time. The reason that we do have to do that is showing here. I'm trying to run this cell again and again, and I'm trying to make changes and make that happen, but nothing's happening. And that's because this graphics window is still currently open and running the first time that you tried to run that cell. So just close the window and run it again, and there it is. Now, I mentioned that if this double tap gets annoying and this dual window thing gets annoying, you can use Replit for this. And let me show you Replit. If you just go to replit.com, and well, here's mine. But Replit is an online integrated development environment. It's free. You can have an unlimited number of projects. Every project is called a REPL in Replit, so you can have an unlimited number of REPLs. You'll probably want a Replit account anyway if you're going to continue in computer science, because the platform is wonderful. It's online, so all of your code is online, and that means that you have access to all of your code whenever you have an internet access, which is all the time. So the other great part about Replit is that it supports so many platforms. It will code in Python, of course, but also in C++. And I don't know, let's take a look here. I'm going to press create, and we can take a look here and see how many templates they do have, and HTML, JavaScript, CSS, C, Java, C Sharp, PHP, Ruby, Swift, SQLite, all of those. So it's a very good platform. Now, if you do decide to go and create an account, then to run this graphics code in Replit, you just press create. Let's create an empty Python program, and I'll just call this test 140 test, just to have something to play with. And it brings up this integrated development environment interface. The big window in the middle is our editor window here. To the right is the console output, and then to the left is a file navigator. So we can take any of our code over here in our Jupyter Notebook lab, and if you click once in the cell and hit Control A, it will select all of the code in that cell, and then separately hit Control C to copy. So again, that's Control A to select all and Control C to copy. And then if you just go over and paste that code into Replit and press the big giant green run button, you'll see that a couple of things happen. First, over here, and I'm going to change the size of this window just to get it a little more central. You can see here that, there we go. You can see that we're running the code that's, of course, in the editor. It comes into the output window, and it creates just a graphics window as part of that output console area, and it doesn't give us that second error. Matter of fact, all we have to do is make sure to press stop and then edit our code again and press run again, and it will present the graphics window a second time. So that's an alternate if you want to first explore Replit. Again, I recommend you have an account anyway, and if you want a little more stable of a platform. All right, that is about it for this week. Good luck with our coding this week. We're doing just Turtle Graphics, so we'll do some very interesting coding about looping and even making just fantastic little spirograph-like images. So have fun with that and enjoy. We'll see you later.